Hello, my name's Nate Jones. I'm the owner of Wexford Insurance and decided to make a video on what type of insurance do dump truck operations need. Dump truck operations, dump truck companies are very complex operations. They're traveling in and out of unique areas, dropping off loads, picking up loads, and all going off road and coming back on road. So there's a lot of different risks that dump trucks have that normal trucking companies may not have, and that includes, picking up rocks, throwing rocks behind the dump truck, and hitting other vehicles and all that sort of thing. So I'm gonna hit on some of the coverages that a dump truck company should be looking for, and the coverages they should have. And the first thing is a requirement of commercial auto liability. Any sort of truck over a certain poundage has to have liability protection on auto, and it is registered with the FMCSA, and they have to have certain limits. And it's very important because if you were to hit somebody in your truck, have an accident or anything, you are liable for having your dump truck and getting into an accident. So that's the first coverage. The second coverage is physical damage coverage on your dump truck. So if you get into a wreck and let's say it is accidentally your fault, and your truck is valued at $50,000. If you don't have this coverage, the insurance will not pay for any damage to your vehicle. You have to have liability, but if the truck is paid off, you don't necessarily have to have physical damage. We always say that you should have it, because if you got into a wreck and the truck's paid off and you don't have physical damage coverage, you could be out of a truck and out of the value of the truck because it's not insured. This includes fire and theft, if the dump truck's being stored anywhere, if it catches on fire, any sort of vandalism to it, anything like that while it's being stored. This could be stored at your house, your driveway, or at a fenced-in locked area. Anything can happen, and that's why it's important to insure your truck. The second thing is environmental pollution coverage. Depending on what you're carrying, if you were to get into an accident and your truck were to tip over and you were to lose your load, there could be some environmental exposure. If you're carrying trash, if you're carrying any sort of, dirt material or manure or anything that could cause an environmental issue, it is important to have this coverage, because a pollution claim, paying to clean up the pollutant, paying to remediate and everything could get expensive. And so I always recommend, usually this coverage is thrown in and we can add it pretty cheap. So the next coverage is, sometimes you need it, sometimes you don't. It's cargo insurance. Basically, if you were to lose your cargo or were to get stolen for any reason, and the destination requires that you have cargo insurance for insuring their load while it's in your custody and control. This is a good coverage to have, because if the load gets destroyed, usually this isn't the case with dump truck operations because it's gravel, it's aggregate or something like that, and the cargo insurance limit doesn't have to be too high, but sometimes it is required, and we do have to add this to the policy. Usually we can add different sub-coverages like rental reimbursement to the dump truck. And so if you get into a wreck and your dump truck's inoperable, this will pay for you to rent another truck. So there's a lot of different coverages that we can add, and things that really make sense. And this is for any sort of dump operation. There's a lot of dump trucks that carry trailers with them as well, and carrying different machinery to the work site and dropping that off, excavating companies. So not, this type of insurance isn't necessarily for just the for-hire dump truck operator. It could be for a construction company or any sort of company that uses a dump truck but doesn't actually make money driving to pick up loads. So it's a very unique coverage, and having liability for if rocks come out and hit somebody's car, or your dump truck goes off the side of the road and you have to get it out of the ditch or anything like that. Having insurance on your dump truck is very important, and it's a very complex situation. So if you need help with this, if we can help you, if you're not in our state or anything like that, we can point you in the direction of somebody who can. We operate in Indiana and Colorado, so we'd love to help you. But if we can't, we can find a trusted partner out there who can help you as well.